are tuning in to the Real and Hungry podcast where we are going to talk about the with you guys real estate investing beginners.
It shouldn't be like these people because home loans, realtor, and you can start building some equity as well.
All right, we are back. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in to the Real and Hungry podcast where we talk about real estate investing for beginners. We apologize that we've been going for a little bit. It's been about 3 months. That the fourth quarter of 2023 really took a hold of us, but we're still investing. I think we just got really busy.
We're back at it.
And every time that I called Miguel and I was like, hey man, we need to get together and do an episode, he was too busy.
You cannot blame it on me, man.
He's too busy, buying apartments, doing construction, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But life is good.
It's been a roller coaster.
It's been a roller coaster. Life is good. 2023 was huge. Go ahead, tell them a little bit about what you were doing 2023 and why we haven't done. Why you couldn't come do an episode with me? Tell the people.
Man, he's blaming it on me, guys. I was calling him saying, hey, we got to record an episode, man. I got soccer, man. He became a soccer mom. He was driving a minivan around.
I was a soccer mom, yeah.
No, but, it's been it was a great year, man. And, it's a lot of, learning, ups and downs. I think it's been the busiest year of my life, man. As you guys know, I still have a full-time job. We're still working on the company, Vision Housing. We were developing Sell Fast for Cash. We talk a little bit about that as well. And, another company that is on the working as well. So it's been crazy. But thankfully, we made it through. We had some success. We've made mistakes just like everybody. We learn from those. And hopefully this year, we were growing in 2023. Hopefully that curve goes up a little bit more, and we're able to start, setting things on autopilot and focusing on all the stuff. So,
absolutely, yep. It was the same for me, man. And I think, obviously we've talked about it before, but what we do on the real estate side, this is just completely our investment. I'm also a loan originator, so I originate loans every day, Monday through Fridays, really 24/7. And man, it's been a crazy year because everybody wants to buy a home, which I love, and everybody's reaching out to me, which I appreciate. Everybody reaching out to me to get pre-approved for their loans, but it's just been tough because the interest rates has been so high. So affordability is tough. There's no houses on the market because people are not selling because they don't want to give up their home.
Right.
For me, it was busy, and when I work, most of the people that I help, they work a 9 to 5, so they're only available like at nighttime. So it was tough. On top of that, but all in all, that's being busy for us. We couldn't do it, but it was good, man. I think we got busy. I think I got a little bit over my head by buying. But for me, I know you've been flipping homes, but me, I bought 3 homes, and 2 of them were full rehabs.
You just skyrocketed, man.
Yeah, full rehabs, which I've never done before. And I was actually calling you like, dude, what do I do with this? How do I do that? But I pretty much bought 2 homes that were trash. I had to completely gut them out and have people go in there and rebuild them. So that was the learning curve for me. The good news is that they're done. So now I got a little bit of time back, and we'll see where 2024 takes us. But what about you? What'd you end up doing in 2023?
Dude, so, we started the year with some properties that we were working on. We had 2 new constructions, and we have a few flips that we're, about to be listed in the market. So we did those first quarter of the year, and then we started buying properties like left and right. And, we were getting them done, finished them. We realized that we had to hire more people. So we started hiring, guys to work for us directly. And we ended up having 10 employees full-time, which I call them employees. But they got their own company, but they work for us, most of the time. And, managing those, learning how to deal with that, it was definitely a challenge. We bought 17 homes. We flipped 14. And we bought 22 units. We had 6 townhouses and 16 units that we finished 8 and rented them out. Just these few weeks we finished renting them out, full 8 that we finished. And then right now we're still currently working on 8. So it's been a great learning experience. I mean, I said that after all the headaches that it has created for us in a good way, just because we had to learn. It's different when you're doing one home. Even if something goes wrong, it's easy to fix, right? When you do an apartment, something goes wrong, and it could affect the other apartments as well. So,
can you give me an example? Because I know you were telling me, like, man, I've learned so much doing these, because it was your first going around with doing, like, big family units.
And we were just talking outside of camera here, kind of having to learn other people's job. We were hiring a plumber and he wasn't doing his job correctly. We realized after, we had traveled on and someone didn't, for example, the vent for the water heater, and then for the HVAC, we had it. The house is pretty much ready to be painted, and then when the plumber came, it's like, hey, you can hook up that there because you need to know. So we had to break travel again. So we thought we were getting somewhere, and then we went one step behind, and we thought we were getting ahead, and then we had to go back and fix something else. So we learned a lot of the process and what's involved behind the plumbing, the electrical, and the framing and all that. So, and also doing apartments. The first time that we were doing this many units at one time. So making sure that everything gets done and organized. And
so how many the units that you bought? How many apartments were in each unit?
So we had 6 townhouses, which they're separate. They're kind of like independent homes. Those weren't as a challenge, but when we bought 16 units, 2 aplexes basically. So we started working in one aplex. You don't know what you don't know, right? So we bought them thinking, oh man, we're gonna finish this 16 units in 6 months. Yeah. We're like, damn. We were 3 months ahead. We're like, man, there's no way we're gonna be finished this 16 units in 6 months. We luckily finished 8 units in 4.5 months, and then almost 5 months, and then it took us another month to get them fully rented. So I think we did pretty okay job. They're pretty nice, and right now they're cash flowing, so it's good.
So that's impressive. So kudos to you and your team and your partners.
Thanks, man.
But I want to, if you don't mind, share a little bit about how you were able to do that. How you were able to buy 16 units. Like, where did the money come from? How do you have the money to rehab it? Like, how do you get to a point where you have the financing, the capital to be able to do that?
So it's crazy. We bought these 16 units with no money out of pocket. We didn't put a single dime at closing, and so right now we haven't yet. Hopefully we don't have to, thanks to our partners and investors that trust us and believe in us. Myself and Daniel, my business partner, because without them we could have made that happen. I bought them from an investor, luckily in Louisville, and he lent us the money for the purchase price. And then I had another investor, which actually used to be my boss at my current job. And, he's reached out to me. He's like, man, I heard you've been doing this. And I explained to him kind of how it works. And he was recently converting his money from 401k into a Roth IRA. And I was sharing with him all the friends of my investors that are lending me, their money from there and how it's tax free and all the benefits and stuff like that. So this deal came up and I'm like, dude, I got a deal. And he's like, man, I want to do something. So I'm like, dude, I need $250,000 to make this deal happen. And we'll give you some equity on the deal. And, there's no interest payment for a whole year. And then after we refinance it, we give you your money back and you're still going to have 20% equity on the deal. And he was like, man, that sounds great to me. And, I think he got a really great deal because, the end of the day, if we end up selling it, if we keep him long term for, 5 to 10 years, he's always going to get that equity. And, whatever he gets is tax free. So he was really motivated by that.
That's awesome. So just kind of breaking it down. So you found an investor who he had the apartments, he was selling them.
Yep.
So now you're like, man, I'm interested, but I don't have the money. And then he was like, well, I might be able to give you the money, and then you just pay me every month to purchase it and to fix it, but you still got to put a down payment.
So initially, he told me I had 6 months because they had to go through, different processes to be able to close. So I'm like, well, I got 6 months. I think I'm going to be able to do it buy them traditionally. I go to a bank, which we've done business before, putting some money down, buying them, they lend you the rehab, and you finish them. So he calls me like after a month, he's like, hey, we got to close Friday. I'm like, dude, no way. So I've been doing my work on the back end, trying to be prepared for the 6 months to be able to buy them. So I already spoken with my friend and some other investors, and I'm like, man, that's a short time frame. I don't think I can figure that out with the bank. He's like, no worries, I'll lend you the money.
Nice.
I'm like, what? It's like, yeah. I said, I need the full purchase price. I said, okay. And I talked to my friend, and he gave us the.
So he was asking you for a down payment too, though.
Yeah, but I told him that I didn't want to put no money down with his terms. So he's like, okay, I'll lend you the full amount, and he also lent me $200,000 for the rehab. Okay. So total loan amount was $824,000.
So your other partner that came on board and he put part of the money too, where was that money going towards?
So that money that my friend gave me was gonna go for some of the closing costs, and also part of it is going to the rehab as well.
Awesome. So I think what's important to tell is that sometimes when you have a big deal like that, you almost have to bring some other investors on board, and then everybody wins. Because at the end of the day, is you bought it at a offer price for sale. You got it at a good price. You did your numbers, so you know that after you repair it and you spend all that money, you're still going to have a bunch of equity because you know what the value of that property is. And then you can go to a bank, say, hey, now these properties worth X, and then they're going to give you all the money back on a loan, which is going to be like a mortgage. You got the rent, you got the cash flow, you pay your investors. There's 3 people there, 4 people there that wins. Well,
the goal is, we buy, rehab, refinance, and repeat, right?
Which is the BRRRR
method. So, we bought them. We bought them for around $39 a door. We're gonna put about $30,000 into each of them in general, and then we hope at the end when they're done, it's gonna be appraised about $90,000 a unit for a 2-bedroom with wash and dryer hookups inside, everything brand new. And I think they'll bring about $90,000 a door, so we'll be able to refinance 75% of that, paid all the investors, and still keep the property cash flowing.
That's awesome, man. Kudos to you.
Thanks, man.
That's a hell of a deal. But it goes to show that sometimes you got to get people involved in order for you to be able to make a big deal like that work.
Yeah, man. It's all about teamwork,
Teamwork. On the next, that's a lot. He's going crazy. He's going crazy. On the next episode, I'm just going to talk about a little flip, not even a flip, but similar to what you did, but a much smaller scale. So I bought a house. It was trash. I bought it for a good deal. I borrowed money to buy it. I also borrowed money to fix it. And then I rented it, and then I went to the bank, refinanced it, got my money back out of it.
Yeah, you've done a few of those, man. You're killing it. So that's the goal, man. You want to have skin on the game. You want other people to win. And at the end of the day, it's an asset. Even though we own 80% as a company, my friend owns 20. He hasn't done anything. I think he's been there like 2-3 times.
All he did was put up the money.
Exactly, but he helped us buy it. So the best thing for him is also to get something out of it, and I think it's gonna be great for everybody. It's gonna be a good long-term investment, and hopefully we keep doing more deals like this year.
Let's do it. So this one was really short, guys. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to try to ramp it up and do more. So do us a favors. Put in the comments what you want us to talk about. We'll love to talk about anything real estate related. If this didn't make sense, if we went through it too fast and we got to kind of dumb it down and break it down, we'll be able to do that. But if there's something else that you want us to talk about, we're more than likely to do it. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Yo, subscribe. And we're trying to hit 100 subscribers this month, January. 100. We got about 65 subscribers. We only need 35 more. So please subscribe and help us get to 100. And I think we got to do that challenge. We got to get X amount of numbers.
If you learned something new today, subscribe. If you didn't, you'll learn something new on the next one. All right.
Take you real hungry.